G'day everyone, we're going to have a quick look into this Dell Precision 3581. This is the 15-inch mobile workstation, and pretty much we've just got an upgrade of the processor, which is now the 13th gen Intel Core. Now we're going to have a look at temperatures and fan noise, we're going to look at internals and also how the performance runs. Looking at temperatures and fan noise of the Dell Precision 3581, when I took my measurements, my ambient temperature in the room was 23 degrees Celsius and the ambient room noise measured in at 35 decibels. Before we get started, just to give you a reference point, your average hand is anywhere between 33 to 36 degrees Celsius at this room temperature. So I took my base measurement when the computer was idle and the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 37 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it was dead silent still at 35 decibels. And the average internal core temperature was 46 degrees Celsius. Then I put 20% load on the computer. That's pretty much average use. So that's tasks like office activity work, surfing web, streaming videos. And the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 45 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, hit a maximum of 38 decibels. And the average internal core temperature was 60 degrees Celsius. Then I put 50% load on the computer and the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 45 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it spun all the way up to 47 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 68 degrees Celsius. Then I put 100% load on the computer and the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 49 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, hit a maximum again at 47 decibels and the average internal core temperature measured in at 73 degrees Celsius. Then I changed in the Dell Power Manager to Ultra Performance Fan Mode with 100% load and the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 46 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it spun all the way up to 49 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 69 degrees Celsius. Also measured bottom back cover, I had 100% load and the hottest air around the back cover measured a maximum of 42 degrees Celsius. I really don't advise putting the Precision 3581 on your lap while it has a bit of load, as it does heat up quite a bit on the bottom side. The Precision 3581 has been running on a lot of load for the last 9.5 hours. So that's the processor, memory, and also the graphics, both the integrated and also the discrete graphics. I can see the speed of the processor for this i7-13700H processor is anywhere between 1.7 to about 2.5 gigahertz. Now, just because of the screen recording, we're running a little bit lower than the base clock speed of 2.4 gigahertz, but most of the time it was sitting around about 2.2 to about 2.5 gigahertz when the screen recording is not on. And I can see at the moment we do have the thermal management in the Dell Power Manager is set to Ultra Performance, so we're giving it the best run possible, and we can see also the internal core temperature is anywhere between 69 to about 73 degrees Celsius. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what it's like and how it behaves in long duration tasks. Measuring the camera coverage of the Full HD IPS display, which has a maximum brightness or lumens rating of 250 nits or candela per square meter, it resulted with 57% sRGB coverage, 39.6% Adobe RGB coverage, and 40.6% DCI-P3 coverage. The Full HD display has a matte finish to the display. This is a recording from the 1080p webcam from the Precision 3581. This is the video and audio unedited, so you can hear and see what the quality of webcam is like. Now, I'm currently in an outdoor environment, so there's actually a bit of cars that are actually zooming past me over here in the street next to me, and I've also got quite a noisy environment. Now, I'd love to hear what your comments on the noise suppression on this webcam is like. And as for the colors, it's not doing too bad at all. Now, there is also a privacy shutter on the webcam. You'll see it. Flick of the switch and you actually see a physical shutter that goes over the webcam, so you no longer need to worry about having blue tack or electrical tape covering it for privacy. Here's the results of the benchmarks performed on the Precision 3581. Here's the results for Pass Mark, Citybench R23, PC Mark, 3D Mark, Crystal Disk Mark, Cross Mark, Geekbench 6, Procon Office, Fusion Photoshop, Fusion Lightroom, Fusion Premiere Pro, Fusion After Effects, Fusion DaVinci Resolve, Blender, Furmark, Octane Bench, Eugene Engine, and Spec View Pref. Let's have a look at internals. First off, we've got the 64 watt hour battery at the bottom, and the battery connector is right above the battery. Now, if you're working inside the computer or if you're troubleshooting power, this is the battery connector to disconnect. Above the battery is the first primary storage, which is M.2 NVMe. Now, this is a 2280 format SSD, as you can see from here, and on the left hand side is the secondary M.2. Again, it can take on the 2280 format NVMe drives. Now, it does have a heatsink, and it's interesting that the primary doesn't have a heatsink and the secondary does, but you can probably flip it around if you really wanted to. Now, above the storage is the 2 SODIMM slot for memory or RAM, and then above the RAM is the Wi-Fi Bluetooth module. Now, this actually has cellular on this configured computer, so that's actually the cellular right here. Now, below that, we can see through underneath this blue tray here. Now, this is the CMOS battery, and the CMOS battery is to disconnect down here if you're having some clock issues or anything like that. And this blue tray is for a 2.5-inch hard disk, and the actual hard disk or the SATA connector is right here. Now, I can see this is using a twin pipe system, and we got one system fan to take it on. Hope you find this video informative and enjoyed it. If you did, even support my channel, smash the like button and also share this video. It does help me out. And as always, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. And I'll see you next video.